Galera, seguinte, Elimination Final, final da eliminatória da América do Norte no Winter Championship de 2025, beleza? Balloon Boy versus Flower, Balloon Boy com seu famoso Devil Jin, que seria o Zariel, e Flower com sua Yumiko. Bora lá. Ah, não se esqueça que eu criei um canal novo com gameplays estilo um pouco Games Edu, se você gosta de Games Edu, estilo Damiani, mais antigo e tal. E se você gosta desse estilo de edição com bastante meme, uma edição bem humorada, que tá muito bem trabalhada, tá investindo muito nisso, você dá uma olhadinha, tá no comentário fixado, tá bom, gente? É nóis, bora.
Today. So we're seeing the bow ditto, and this is honestly a game of whoever whiffs is gonna get punished, because both of these weapons are able to punish each other across the screen. Flower!
Nossa!
Wow, he was so bold! He went up and through the D-Sig.
Balloon Boy held that for a very, very long time. If he would have ripped it a little bit earlier, but I don't think he expected Flower to just be that bold and like walk into traffic.
Oh, but right now, Flower, he is struggling to be able to get this KO.
It's so easy for a guy like Flower.
That GC side sig, that was certainly a choice, wasn't it?
Yeah, you need, all right, Balloon, it's game one, right? We're in the point of like, what can we get away with? Can we get these early stocks to get some momentum in our corner that we can then steamroll the rest of the set? Sometimes we mess up because Balloon Boy can still find these KOs. Welcome to Fortress of Lions and trying to KO at a 45-degree angle in the upward direction.
And welcome to Bo. A whole lot of D-Lights and not a whole lot of KOs, I have to say. But now we have Gauntlet, so what does that mean? We're looking for Sidelight, we're looking for D-Light as well. GC D-Light into recovery. That's going to be a classic KO confirm as Balloon Boy evens up the stocks.
Oh, oh man, that was such a late in-light coming out from Balloon Boy while Flower was straight up stacked on top of him. A little bit of a misplay there. He's looking so passive right now.
He's just trying to catch us landing. He's trying to get a read on how Balloon Boy is going to land.
That's the second time Balloon Boy has thrown out an attack. Flower has just straight up stood right outside his range and been like, yeah, go ahead. I'm going to finish up. The first time it was a stomp into the side air. This time it was an in-light.
Flower finding the cell. Balloon Boy waiting so patiently below the D-Sig. Flower looking to punish a high recovery with a preemptive cell. He wasn't able to connect it. Now, getting the end-light, picking up these juggles, whiffing the side light. Balloon Boy lands safely, but can he get this opening? Yes, he can. Beautiful GCD light.
Can he find anything after that? A little bit of a tap from the Wisp, nothing huge. Flower wasn't really ready for that one, so it's not easy to capitalize off of.
Also not easy to KO Flower. That downer was still not enough to be able to do it. Love that patience. He didn't swing preemptively, and that is going to be another punish on another whiff signature. Balloon Boy has already lost 2 stocks that way. You gotta dial it back. You either gotta hit those or stop it.
So I feel like there's a handful of times where we're seeing both of them do a similar thing, but in a different way. He dodges right up through it. He is completely fearless. We'll see Balloon Boy kind of stop because Flower's a little bit too close to him.
How does he know?
Stacked on top. He just must like know Balloon Boy intimately enough to be able to see that coming. Because he hasn't been doing it that much against the other opponents. He's done it a handful of times, but not this often and not this early in the set.
What a punish as well. That's what happens when you whiff both. D-Light Flower gets the weapon toss. Balloon Boy, such a good neutraler though. Just getting Flower off of him. Picking up the bow again, gets the sidelight, and uses that as the time to set up with D-Sig. Not actually going to connect on his opponent though. Tossing out the weapon, going below Balloon Boy's weapon toss, not getting spiked anytime soon. But the GC D-Light into the recovery. Beautifully spaced. Last stock each.
I love those wisps that he did because if you throw him out and nothing happens, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's an infinite resource. But if Balloon Boy wanted to come over the top, all of a sudden you catch him with a neutral signature and he's gone, and you have that final stock because he was in red.
He's stepping up. He's fishing through that stomp. He wants that D-Light, and Balloon Boy is taking the space away from him.
Oh, he's looking for the downer. He wants to steal it.
Flower, this is his thing to solve right now. He gets the cell, but that's not going to be enough. He has a closing problem. He needs to be able to get this KO because Balloon Boy, I know that he has that clutch in him.
The downer off the top. I don't think he can take another one of those, and he definitely can't take a hammer neutral air off the top. Flower is going to take game.
Não acho que o set esteja perdido. Não acho. Bora lá, let's go. Segunda partida.
Know exactly which one the right one is. Whereas Flower will kind of be stuck in that moment and he'll make that decision so much more quickly and actually find that answer. It may not always be the best answer. It is an answer though. And a lot of times choosing something is better than choosing nothing. Even a bad decision can oftentimes be better than no decision whatsoever. And it's because he's playing so confidently that he can find those options.
But I have to say, if I'm Balloon Boy, if all the games that I could lose, I'm glad I lost that one because that was a big wake-up call for me to dial back with my signature. signatures, but what an N-Sig. Balloon Boy has Flower off stage. He dodges back on. He goes back in there with the N-Light. He is swinging and fighting, and now he picks up the bow yet again. Dodges in. The recovery still able to catch that. Balloon Boy looking to close it off the top, but he has not found that punch upwards quite yet.
Ooh, just a straight jump to get over that signature.
Oh, GC
Nice.
D-Light into the recovery. That is going to be it as, you know, Flower just whiffs on the ground right in front of Balloon Boy.
Now, that is kind of the beauty of the Gauntlet signature, even though he didn't hit with it, is the way he was picking that up before is like you can still hit basically a grounded opponent with it, whereas like the bow neutral signature, not as much. That,
Drop it,
I'm gonna say it, that sucks. Sorry, dude. That's the way she goes sometimes.
Okay, backing off a little bit here, looking for the D-Light. Just again, that's not the first time that I've seen him go for like D-Light and Light like that before. So a bit of an unfortunate misinput. And now, again, what can you do to close this stock out? Or is Balloon Boy just going to keep on racking on the extra credit again and again and again? He is hunting. He's trying to catch his landing. He gets the D-Light save.
He's not in Stomp Sarah territory. Not even from the edge. Oh, the weapon toss. He goes for the dare wide. He went way wide into that push-off column. If Flower wanted to go over there, he's going to get the hit because Flower doesn't have really anything that can contest except like a beautifully placed recovery there to get over and get priority over the down air. But if he goes the other direction like we saw him do, he just ends up falling.
Bow on hand, so you know what he needs? He needs a neutral, but what he does not need is to side sig right in Balloon Boy's face. Good whip punish with the N-Light. Finds another N-Light. Hopping off stage with that side sig. The Sill is not going to be able to KO. Balloon Boy forced to go for the high recovery as Flower just backs off onto the stage, plays it safe, and finally finds the Stomp Sarah. But is it too late in this game too?
It very well potentially could be. The fact that he picked up that Stomp Sarah from the middle of the stage and that KO'd meant so much damage was built up, which meant so much damage had to be built up over time.
Nice weight on the N-Sig. He's been doing those all day. He was looking for the jump call out with the Sarah. He didn't get it. No D-Sig, N-Sig, but he is piling on the damage.
I think he didn't want the Wisps to hit there, and then like the Stomp put him into the Wisps. Otherwise, the neutral sig would have hit, and that would have been a KO. So that's tough.
Okay, he's backing off here. He's able to get the side light immediately into the N-Light because Balloon Boy had no dodge. He used it up through the gravity cancel, sweating on the way back down, picking up the bow. Such a good weapon spawn for him, honestly. Recovery comes out.
Dodge.
Not enough to KO.
Weapon toss goes down. He is able to re-grab. Balloon Boy. He's been playing a lot around that soft platform to give him some room. Grabs the bow.
Gravity cancel, that was so good. He was able to dodge the down air and still found a punish. Oh,
Flower! He was waiting for the option after that instead. Oh my gosh, Flower. I mean, even if he got that, that still would have only been the second stock. It's not like the game was won or lost off of that one. Balloon Boy is really turning things around. He's shutting down Flower in so many different ways.
One of
Bora, Miami Dumb, let's go.
And you saw how that worked out for him. He overcommitted, and Balloon Boy just played that situation better and took a stock off of Flower. So, we're in game 3 now. Balloon Boy has a little bit of momentum behind him. Flower has still not fully solved, you know, that question in his mind. How do I find these KOs? But right now, his spacing with bow is looking immaculate.
So Fortress of Lions has that soft platform up there, but really only Balloon Boy seemed to be using it. Now that we have 2 soft platforms here in this fixed spot on Miami Dome, I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of extension up there so that Flower can find those KOs off the top a little bit earlier, whether it's like a hammer nair or a bow nair or a bow recovery. No, he's just going to stay very grounded. He seems to put so much focus on controlling the regular main stage. Doesn't matter if there are soft platforms or not. KO problem, not a problem this game.
Yeah, he is moving. He is looking so confident with all of his spacing, especially with how he has been anti-killing with those N-Lights, catching Balloon Boy stacked with the neutralizers. Flower is truly schmoving. Now, let's see what Balloon Boy can do in return. Side light goes for the side sig, does get gently punished for it.
Oh, the N-Light just barely whiffing. 2 bow players going at it here. They're going to have similar game plans.
Going off stage for a huge ground pound. It doesn't actually connect. Oh, but the GC N-Sig.
That time.
So good. Yeah, that time around, it actually connected. It fully worked.
He doesn't pick it up too low there to where he's essentially just going to run into the wall and end up dropping. Oh, this is going to be an easy punish there for Flower.
That
Even
GC
the slide charge
sig.
D-Sig.
Look what it did. It put him off stage. He has to land against another D-Sig into the neutral.
Extending off of the soft platforms, but now going back to main.
so good, just catching him jumping with nowhere to go, controlling the space with all of these different D6. Balloon Boy struggling to land, he makes it back down and he finds a neutral. The GC D-Light not gonna connect and gives Flower another punish. D6, no, that's a stop and that's a lead, Sparky.
Flower is playing this advantage moment really well. He's playing patient enough to where he's forcing Balloon Boy to be the one to make the first move, unless it's Flower making the first move, but in a really safe way. Like he's gonna throw out wisps while Balloon Boy's on the wall. That's safe, virtually unpunishable. And he's doing this like really reserved gameplay to then hold on to this lead and force Balloon Boy to make a mistake.
And Flower, he keeps piling it on and on and on. Finally, the recovery is gonna be able to KO. And honestly, you do not sleep against Balloon Boy, especially not his gauntlets. You find yourself off stage against him, and he can make anything happen. So, what is he looking for? He wants a side light. He wants an end light. He's dodging up. Beautiful. He goes for the GC side light. Flower finding a downer.
That's what he was struggling to find against his opponent earlier, who was taking stocks off the top when he wasn't ready. It was Marky Moo. This time it's Balloon Boy, and he grabs the down air. There's the recovery. Swapping places with Balloon Boy. Even he's able to jump and move away and get the fadeaway side air after the whiff D-Light. That's what I'm talking about with Yumiko and Fast Hammer.
Dashing in, dashing out, dashing in, dashing out, and baiting the end light and able to poke it out with that side light. Beautifully played. Balloon Boy, he keeps trying to solve this question of how do I approach. He finally gets the side stick. It's not enough to KO. Can he get this edge guard is the question. He goes below Flower, but then pops out a recovery instead of a neutral.
I think he, in that moment, he could choose the recovery and get a hit, potentially leading to a KO, but then also moving himself upward in a safe way, which he needs to do now. The weapon toss going wide, but it's saving Balloon Boy.
Flower. Oh my gosh, he doesn't even go through the weapon pickup. The question is he going to regret that? Was that play too greedy to put himself back off stage? Or is he going to be able to close out this stock and get himself in a lead? We'll just have to find out. Balloon Boy, you can clutch this up, but you have to put in so much work.
Here comes the hammer.
Oh, the end light. Not going to be able to punish the GC.
Downer, yep. Right there. The perfect option in that moment. I swear, the way that Flower is floating, you put yourself right there. That's exactly where he wants you to be. And we'll see that placement once we get to that final replay. Great side air, man. The hammer.
Galera. Temos aqui mudança de pique do cara level 100 de Zariel para um cross, mano. Não faço a mínima ideia qual o level do cross dele, mas já vi ele jogar de Diana e eu acho que eu vi ele jogar de cross já também. Pela blaster dele, ele parece que tem experiência com blaster. Enfim, vamos ver se ele vai conseguir um resultado legal.
Especially in a one setting, one of the most unpopular weapons that everybody complains about all the time. Balloon Boy does this. I've seen him do this when he's down in a set where he always switches off of the Zariel, but I feel like I have not agreed with those decisions in the past.
Now he's obviously going to have the gauntlet carryover from the Zariel that he was playing previously, and now he's going to be picking up the blasters. Like his bow is looking pretty good too, but I think he just feels like the potential to make a difference in the game is larger with gauntlets than it is with bow, which is why he's not going for Diana. And also you have like really high KO potential, which was like,
Caraca.
I love that signature. I love that signature. One of my favorites in the game. If you've been watching Brawlhalla Esports for a very long time, you know I love double-sided signatures because you can do stuff like that. You can dash in, and whether your opponent is in front of you, whether they're behind you, doesn't have to worry about whether you overshoot it. None of that matters because you have a blast in front and a blast behind at the exact same time.
And now Balloon Boy has amassed himself quite a lead with the blasters on hand, looking for the downer, looking for the double, not going to be able to get it. Flower finds a neutral. If you whiff anything in front of Bo, Flower is going to be able to find a D-Light like it's any day of the week. So, tries to dash in, spacing out the side lights.
Love the double side light attempt.
A projectile battle. Oh, quite literally, they both weapon toss at the same time.
Oh. Tough to spot dodge once it's already out. We saw that happen before, but Balloon Boy's spot dodge was a little bit earlier, so he got a hitbox out before the wisps had like fully adjusted themselves and turned into a projectile where the hit wouldn't interrupt.
The blasters seem to be doing quite well. Balloon Boy is successfully keeping Flower out of the way, but if you whiff a silly like that, that is going to be a punish. He's looking for the landing, fading away, able to get the end light. What's going to be the follow-up? He just goes for an empty jump and no follow-up.
It's so tough to find follow-ups with blasters, especially when Flower is moving like this. His movement is really good. That's one of the things he's able to use well defensively and offensively.
So Balloon Boy has gauntlets. What does that mean? He wants a side light. Oh my gosh, Bo D-Light. It does not matter if you across the stage. That move will whiff punish anything that it sees fit. Balloon Boy back to the blasters. He wants D-Light. Why? We want a recovery. We want a Sarah to be able to get this KO. And that is not going to be enough for him center stage.
Yep. That will.
Recovery muito bem colocado.
All the way from below.
Vamos ter
Okay,
que
don't say
falar,
wow.
né, mano? Jogou
He
muito
had a
bem.
lot of damage built up. Don't say wow.
Well, everybody complains that it
That's
needs
not a
buff,
surprise
so,
at
you know.
all. There was so much damage built up.
Well, 2 stocks to
wow.
1 once again. He's continuing to stick to the blasters, and they are working out for him.
Oh. If Flower's able to play the juggle game, it seems like Balloon Boy is not super focused on being a dare-based blasters player. Like, he's mostly holding the ground, he's poking with Sayers, or he's throwing out the neutral lights.
Finds a side light, just mixing up his landing as much as possible, making his movement super tricky. Flower jumping up and over the GCD light. The Sail comes out. Is Balloon Boy going to be able to make it back onto the stage? Well, that is for Flower to decide. He gets hit by the Sail. He doesn't close out the edge guard, and instead, he is the one who finds himself off stage. Balloon Boy is baiting. He is threatening with the concept of a downer.
Ooh, nice fade away from Flower to get away from that down air. They've all of a sudden now swapped positions.
Neutrillo setting up these juggles, which Blaster is so good at doing. Sliding off with that D-Sig, goes through the weapon toss, and the GC sidelight is going to be enough to kick him away. The horizontal drift of the recovery is not enough for Balloon Boy. Last stock each. Flower can make this comeback, but Balloon Boy, as soon as he picks up those gauntlets, he wants that D-Light, he wants that sidelight.
Oh, okay. That side stick can be really quick sometimes. He also might try and catch Flower jumping with the neutral signature, but I don't think so. Flower's playing pretty
Caraca, já
which
decaiu.
is why he goes for the grounded recovery to get the KO.
Essa Blaster, olha, fez o que fez por ele, viu? Rapaz.
He has full economy.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Game 5, quinto jogo. Miami Dome, bora.
Burning a dodge, so he's
Yes.
there to follow up after
And
that.
also it for
Já viram, ô gente, comentário fixado, dá uma olhadinha em meu canal novo, por favorzinho. Por favorzinho,
the enemy's movement. So it is game
se inscreve lá.
right back to Miami Dome. Balloon Boy on the cross representing blasters. Oh my gosh, as he was falling off the stage,
Beautiful.
Endlight still was able to come through. That was so cool, wasn't
You
it?
have to play so elusively as a Blasters player. You're constantly backing up. You're constantly on the back foot.
Backing off a little bit here. Flower giving him some space. Whiffing the D-Light is going to give Balloon Boy that sail opportunity. Dodges back onto the stage. Uses a cider of his own. Backing up. They're both respecting each other so much. The neutral comes out. Trying to set up this juggle. Endlight's in the wrong direction. Again, whenever one of them whiffs, they have the disjoints to cover each other's space.
And it's so tough. These D-Lights from Balloon Boy are now
Oh.
missing almost every
Nossa
time, and
Senhora.
they're also getting punished. That's how dangerous D-Light can be, and that's what's really tough as a Blasters player, because GC D-Light is like a part of your neutral, it's a part of your advantage state, it's a major part of all points of gameplay for you, but you have to burn a dodge and then use a very telegraphed move. Doesn't have the range on the hand.
Yeah, wasn't able to find it. Sidelight, D-Light, Sail as well going to be coming through as Flower takes this lead. Now, Balloon Boy coming back on. I forgot what weapon he has primed here. It's going to be the Blaster, so he needs a recovery, he needs a Sail, he needs a D-Light. But if you whiff that D-Light, if you whiff that combo starter,
Nice.
there it is again, the D-Sig.
Love it. Dash D-Sig. One of my favorite things on Cross is Dash D-Sig.
That's been the only signature working out for Balloon Boy on Cross so far. And let me tell you, it is doing an amazing job
Nice.
closing.
Okay, there's the in-light. Tried to catch him jumping straight over his head with the neutral air, potentially further juggling after that with the second neutral air into the recovery. Flower shutting him down. Balloon Boy's not really able to get on top of him for the GCD light, and anytime he does get close, like Flower's been ready with those stomps. He's been playing aerially. He's kind of swapping over to a more dare-based Blasters player or GCD light, so he's in the air to be away from those stomps.
But Flower a little bit too close and a little bit too above for the GC D-Light to actually be able to connect. Backing in, backing out, D-Light Sail comes out. Can Balloon Boy make it back onto the stage? Flower delays his D-Sig, waits, gets in there and calls out that timing. He is up 2 stocks to 1. He is on the precipice of making an amazing upset and putting himself into grand finals and qualifying through max mode. There is so much on the line, but he needs to close, he needs to clutch, and Balloon Boy needs to make this comeback.
So one of the reasons Cross was ever meta was in like 2s, and that's because Blasters can be reasonably meta in 2s, but also you could catch people out and grab them with signatures in orange from like the middle of the stage, specifically the Gauntlet neutral signature. That may be what he's hoping for. Okay, potential spike opportunity.
dodged up past
Good
it.
dodge through the GCD light. Unfortunately, that would have been massive for Balloon Boy. Exclamation points. He sent back over, but no more exclamation points just yet because he did get hit.
Flower taking his time getting back onto the stage. Balloon Boy dashing and dashing out, trying to bait it. He
Caraca.
dodged past the side light with the best possible timing. Balloon Boy, finally, the GCD light comes out. Not actually going to be able to KO, but that one finally will. It is game 5. It is last stock. Balloon Boy is behind in damage, but all it takes is that one D-light, that one opener.
That's so tough. He's able to grab that weapon instantly upon spawning back in. Okay, in-light. In-light into double new. Double neutral air is a lot of damage. There's the in-light coming out from Flower. Still trying to control that main center stage.
They're both dash jumping around each other. Somebody's got to anti-heal somebody soon. GCD light into the recovery. Flower looking for a way to be able to land. Balloon Boy going off stage. So threatening, so scary.
Oh, I was going to say, it's the Blaster's ground pound. The rare Blaster's ground pound incoming.
Flower not
He's
able to find
tripping
a
me
downer.
up, but he didn't trip up Flower.
GCD light soon.
Meu Deus.
Off stage once more. Flower goes for the recovery. Doesn't go over the stage. Afraid of the D-light. And he makes it back on. Is that the stop?
Nope.
Not yet.
He's still with Blasters. A recovery is going to do it. Side air from the wrong side of the stage, brother.
Mano, o comeback, velho! Jogou muito, caraca. E merece uma inscrição. É isso, gente. Um beijo. Até o próximo set. Tchau, tchau.